Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and I've been losing my voice lately. So, to try to take good care of my voice because I have a really big thing going on this weekend, I might talk a little softer, quieter, gentler, or I might just fall into my usual habits when the video gets rolling. We'll see. It's all going to be part of the experience today. And that thing that I'm doing this weekend is a World Championship watch party. So the Magic Worlds. The Magic Worlds, they're coming back. We didn't have one last year, but we have one this year, and it is starting on Friday, and it's going Saturday and Sunday. And on twitch.tv/covertgoblue, I will be hosting a watch party if you want to come hang out and watch the World Championships, commentated on by the one in Best of One, assuming my voice makes it that far. Kind of risky, considering it's Monday, this starts on Friday, and my voice is feeling it, and has been all week, so I've got to get a little gentler in my tone and try to take good care of those vocal cords for the good of all of you. And myself, let's be real. What would I do if I couldn't hear the sound of my own voice? I'd have to listen to other people. Ugh. All right. This is a deck that I found on MTG Melee. MTG Melee is a site where they post Magic tournament results. And the SCG Tour Online is a competitive series of tournaments that takes place organized by Star City Games of Roanoke, Virginia. This one was played by Goncalo Pinto in a 148-person tournament, and it managed a 5-1 record, making top 8. That's in competitive best of 3. And I looked at it and I said, Mono Black Aggro. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. So we're definitely going to play it and try it out, especially since it runs some things I was interested in when looking at Mono Black Aggro, but didn't have the courage to do. One of those things was the courage to craft 4 copies of Tainted Adversary, a new zombie out of Innistrad. This 2/3 Death Touch makes decayed tokens and gains +1/+1 counters for every 2 and a black you pay after it enters the battlefield. Pretty cool way to just kind of make a wide board and get in some extra damage while also being a 2-mana 2/3 Death Touch creature that can attack. White is out of Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, another zombie. We played this one in the zombie deck, but we only had 2 Tainted Adversaries. Well, this deck got me to craft 4, so I'm on the hook right there with you if you craft this deck and it's not good. Anyway, we've also got 4 copies of the mythic Ebon Death Dracolich, which is something I had been thinking maybe that's the way zombies want to go, but I got sucked in by the value plan, Jadar, and sacrificing things to village rights. This is all about flashing this sucker in and finishing the job when the opponent responds to your wide board of undead creatures with a board wipe. There are 6 spot removal spells in Infernal Grasp and Power Word Kill to try to clear the way so that you get in your attacks. Graveyard Trespasser is a rare we haven't played yet on the channel. 3 mana, 3/3 human werewolf. It has the ward of discard a card, which is pretty cool. If the opponent has to target it, they have to discard another card, little card advantage. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Keep in mind that can be your graveyard, so don't be afraid to exile your own creatures here and there, although there are some you may not want to. And we run Agadeem's Awakening, so sometimes you get them back, but oftentimes the damage is worth it, so you really have to look at it from a damage perspective. The backside is a 4/4 that can exile up to 2 cards, and for each creature, lose 1, gain 1. So it kind of can hit for 6 if you get on the night side. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how 4 copies of Ebon Death, how 4 copies of the Graveyard Trespasser, how 4 copies of Tainted Adversary works out. There's also 4 copies of Dungeon Crawler and 4 copies of Champion of the Parish in the 1-drop spot, and we're main decking 4 copies of Duress. Even the decks where Duress would not normally be good, like White Aggro, we can tag cards like Paladin Class, Portable Hole, and Fateful Absence, which might mess up our plans. Maul the Skyclaves is making a bit of a comeback. Goes really well with the new legendary white creature, Adeline, something like that. So Duress might have a role even against Mono White. Against Mono Green, you can hit Ranger Class, Isika's Chariot, Wrenn and 7, or Unnatural Growth, or Snakeskin Veil, whatever, Blizzard Brawl. All very good hits for Duress against the premier aggro deck in the format. And of course, if you're playing against Izzet, there are a lot of hits for Duress. So we're trying out main deck Duress in Best of One, which isn't something I would normally do, but I can't think of a good reason to cut it. The sideboard is intact over here for those of you who want to try some Best of 3 nonsense, but be careful when crafting all hitting the craft all button on the deck, because there are some mythics and some rares lurking over here in the sideboard that you may not want to immediately throw those wild cards at. So just be mindful that there is a sideboard if any of you want to play best of 3. And now, to preserve my vocal cords, let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Let's try a standard event for an unproven deck that I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Let's give it a shot. If we get to 7 wins, we can upgrade it to a ranked deck. On the play. On the play. Aggro needs to be on the play today. Yay. Well, we get the champ. And then we get to duress, and then we trespass, and maybe we Dracolich. Ooh, we drew a 2-drop. Tempting to take out this... Tempting to hit this duress button, though. But it can wait. Let's be aggressive. Brushfire Elemental. Been a while. Holds back. Can't be blocked by creatures with 2 or less. You're not blocking one of these, are you? That would be weird. What you doing? Let's go with the... Let's hold back the Trespasser. Let's go with the Duress. Okay. Opponent is crazy pants. Let's go ahead and take this... Scale the Heights, which is a good combination with the Brushfire Elemental. Let's attack with both. They can't block this thing. Let's play Skyclave Shade. The card isn't a complete disaster on the play. It's only on the draw where you just feel the Skyclave Shade so much. So, looks like their play is the Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin Evolving Wilds hit me for 5. Okay, so we can remove the Goblin and get in for 7. We can also attack, take a trade, and then play a Trespasser, which can then exile a creature card from the graveyard. That gets in for 6, and we lose something. I think they just want to play Vastwood Surge next turn, which means removing this means they can't trade next turn, because everything, well, except for the Shade, too big for the Elemental, and they have to block or they die. Okay. Okay, let's see if they attack. Are they going out? Are they going out an aggressor? We'll Dragon Flex. Just a little Dragon Flex. 1-0. 6 to go. Funky lands. I worried about 4 Agadeem's Awakenings combining with Faceless Haven. Think we see that here. Doesn't seem great. But I assume the person who played them for a reason. The Agadeem's Awakenings, that is. We're gonna have to keep track of how often I actually flash anything back. This is mono green. Alright, so they probably have an Asika's Chariot. I don't think they'd keep the hand. We can Infernal Grasp their Troll. And then Trespasser still won't get anything. Or we could use this turn to duress their chariot. I'm not sure what's best. Being on the draw here is pretty tough. I know I want to play this. I know I'm going to attack. Let's just get it done. I guess the sooner I kill their troll, the better they ramp, so maybe killing the troll isn't the best. So let's go ahead and duress. Your chariot, please. Dude, what? What? 2 chariots? At least it's not a troll, it's a Boreal Outrider and a Cosmos Elixir. Hopefully we draw another duress. Or we're just gonna lose to the only good card in Magic. Just kidding. Would you like to trade? Because I'd love my Trespasser to eat the graveyard. Get it out! It won't deal damage though until we get some creatures into the graveyard. Whenever you cast a creature spell. They didn't play their chariot. We have a chance. What does this do? Whenever it attacks, if you attack with creatures with total power 6 or greater, +1/+1 counter. Okay. Okay. Champion of Da Perished. I want to get that on the field. I also might just want to transform this. My opponent's not going to transform it for me anytime soon. Yeah, I think that's the play. This is 1 mana. We can play it later. So now we have a 4/4. Can eat 2 cards from graveyards per attack. Here comes the chariot. Our mission in life is to kill this chariot with Infernal Grasp. I do feel like I'm getting outvalued by a lot, but I think a lot of it has to do with our opponent playing like the best card in Standard and having 2 of them. Play another one. Awaken? I think we've got to hold these, to be honest. Although I guess having an untapped one lets us power up Hive. Opponent just keeps fidgeting. Like, what are you doing? Yeah? Yeah? You just die? Good move. Smooth. Alright, so I've got these things that I want to block with. Like, I want to block a 2/2 with the Dungeon Crawler, right? So then I can get it back. So should I attack? If I attack, the opponent can double block. That's really bad for me. I guess we can't attack. This is going to transform back, though. Cosmos Elixir is going to try to take over the game. I can't believe I just said that out loud. Discard a card. You didn't, did you? You didn't. I'm having a not like this moment. Oh, look at them go. They're getting in there. Alright, opponent's grown bored and started trading off. Why did they let me keep both? Whatever. I don't claim to understand anymore. Make them bigger. Alright, do we attack? Do we attack? We're at 16. If these attack, and they can power this up, and this is what, 4? So we threaten to double block it now. but it's their whole turn, and maybe that's a fine trade. Let's go like this. Let's attack with this 2/2 that they don't want to trade with. Although, who could predict what this opponent will do? Certainly not me. Certainly not me. We've got to keep them off drawing cards with the elixir. Somehow get our board to be better than theirs. Uh-huh. I wonder if attacking with Hive is good. Using these creature lands. Obviously, the Dungeon Crawler isn't a good attack here. This trades with one of these, which isn't great. We don't have a 2-drop in the graveyard. So I'm trying to hold out for one more. But if our land goes away, it's not good either. We could also use this Infernal Grasp on the Rider. Then the Dungeon Crawler can attack. Hiya. I'm nervous about what it says about my deck that we're having a grind off, but all that they needed were really any pieces of digital cardboard to go with Chariot to make this hard. Chariot's a tough cookie. And we don't have an Ebon Death, which is our kind of crucial 4-drop to go over the Chariot. So, I guess against their draw, it's supposed to be hard. Wow. Wow. Okay. Their top deck's better than mine. Yeah, if they're going to top deck this way, it's going to be harder than hard. And then they don't attack, but they get to draw. Awesome. Entering the battlefield tapped is looking pretty bad. Opponent might find their lair of the Hydra here. It's been sitting there just waiting for somebody to love it. Oh no, they found it. So I think we let them keep their lair. Maybe chump block? Or take 10 here. Yeah, let's take 10. It gets better in the future. Our blocks get better in the future, and we do need to counter pressure them or they're going to keep drawing with this stupid elixir. Nighttime is the right time. So now we have this 6/6. This has Death Touch. I guess we don't want to die to one removal spell. This can trade with anything. This can chump. We'll send the champ. Yeah, this game is forcing me to maneuver. I gotta do it all, baby. Our opponent's got snow green, and it's functioning. All firing on all cylinders. Ah, they chicken out, huh? So we've got the Trespasser and a champ in the graveyard. We need this right to go to the graveyard. White, right? And then we have a really good Agadeems. Whenever a creature dealt damage by this dies. They might just take this trade, which I don't know if that's great for us. Probably not. I guess we'd rather be blocking, so we'll just send you. Would you like to trade with my Death Touch? That's a good 2-drop to get back as well. Nice. Alright, first Agadeem's actually cast here. And our first value-gasm of the game. Oh, we're on the night side, that's right. Alright, so we can exile these creatures, which drains the opponent and gains us life. Very ripped champions of the parish here. Aw, you're gonna layer me? Because I'll block. I've got that Death Touch. Their layer is 7/7 right now? Oh, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got through that. Holy crap. Ugly 2-0. I can't sugarcoat it. Opponents' decks haven't been the best. Opponents haven't been the best. And the deck kind of scraped and clawed in the last one against green. So my cynicism for the deck is actually rising at 2-0. You ever have your sports team go 2-0, but you know they played like crap? That's kind of how I feel after last game. Let's see if they can turn it around. Duress. Gobos. Oh man. I don't have any removal. None. But they only have one... Oh my gosh. We're duressing land. We're gonna mana screw them. We're gonna mana screw them. They only have one land. They're not drawing another. They're not doing it. It's not gonna happen. Not today, not ever. We drew removal. That's cool. On the draw, I guess we have to be aggressive. Kinda sucks. But let's play the Shade. Actually, no, because of the Fireblade Charger. If it happens to incidentally die, either one can get shocked, but maybe, okay, it was the Shade because of shock, right? Because that's the only thing they have to do if they don't draw the land. Bad CGB. But they miss their land. Keep missing, baby. Keep on missing. Give me a chance. Dueling Rapier. Phew. Yeah, that's right. Don't be a coward. The dragon that dies to shock. What a disgrace. Yeah, we gotta lose the Shade here, I think. You can't block it. You don't fly. Frickin' goblins. Frickin' mono red players, man. Does this grant first strike? How's this card work? It doesn't grant first strike. Still, we don't want this to die. I think that means we play the Shade here. And kick it. This is a little bit more damage. But it's still short of lethal. Oh, if they attack with both, they're dead. Okay, they found it. They found it. Find the lethal, ladies and gentlemen. Find the lethal. Haha! Play more lands. Duress. Stone Rain for the win. Alright, 3-0. A really funky 3-0 though. Oh man, well we're on the draw. This is like a control hand. I guess we'll see if this deck can play control. Never mind. Get him. Get him, little 2-1 for 1. In keeps. Okay. Starnheim and Storm. One goes down. The other goes down. Rip their hand to pieces. I don't want this trade though. Let's save it for later. Maybe we can get back the Ebon Death with it. Maybe the opponent will also get aggressive. They'll play Yasharn here and then attack with Innkeeper if they're feeling feisty. We can cheese 2 points when we kill Yasharn. Yep. Two points cheesed. Ruh-roh. Uh-oh. This could get bad. It's fine. Do you think they'll ramp? Should I kill this now? I want to get the Ebon Death down. I really do. They also might attack into the Haven. Let's see. If they ramp here, we can power word kill in response. It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. We tangled. Frickin' vegetarian over here. Skyclave Apparition. Okay. We still have the Haven. And I don't actually want to power it up to block, but I'm just going to hover it really quick and try to remind the opponent it exists so that they don't attack. Haha. Crafty. Alright. So we have to kill this swarm. We may as well also play this white. We're going to take a beating. But I think we need to stay aggressive as well. I know they're at 24, but I think we have to. Because we're not going to win the long game. They're the one with Storm the Festival. Okay. How to play. Deal up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our opponent thinks they're the beatdown. They have the stronger deck. They shouldn't... Anyway. They're letting me steal a lot of points. Now, they might win anyway, because Amiria's Call is a frickin' busto card, but... Block. Yep, looks like we're gonna die. I guess the Amiria's Call did change the dynamic, but if I had drawn another Duress, they'd be regretting it. Yeah, we're not gonna grind against this. The opponent might block, though. I guess that could be a mistake. And then what? We still can't block all of these. Too bad. I thought we had a chance there. On the play, that's good. No 1-drop, that's not good. But I don't think I can mulligan for it in this deck. There's only 8. It's not like a 12-1 drop deck. Here comes 2-mana, 2/3 Death Touch. Let's see where that leads us. Mono red? Cowardly mono red? Control mono red? Dragons mono red. Any flavor you like. There's your reckless one. Might as well get in there. What you doing? What would you say you do here? We hit the Shatter Skull Smashing. Alright, Bloodthirsty Adversary. So we know they run other spells. Relic Robber, that's good to know about. Goldspan Dragon. So next turn they want to Relic Rob me, huh? So I guess we just keep the Tainted Adversary where it is. Use this because it's not a dragon. Deck is full of hasty surprises. Oh my goodness. Keyword haste. Haste tribal. They should play something here, or I flip the Trespasser. Okay. No creatures in the grave to exile, though. Do you think they drew a shock? Why did they play nothing? I'm gonna send out the Crawler anyway. Okay, I guess they just forgot about how this card works. Games today have been sus. It's gonna be one of the most skeptical even money dances ever. Even money dance, even money dance, even money dance, 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 dance? Question mark? Let's keep going. I don't know, is this deck good? Opponents have been sus, decks have been sus. I guess good is relative. Good might just be, I need a cool zombie aggro deck that I want to play in events, and this might be a perfect deck for that. It's a good curve. This is doing things. The champ is here. I would totally Cena shout it if, you know, voiced. Gotta get through the side twitch somehow. No block. Okay, well, we know what that means. It means Deadly Dispute. Definitely means Deadly Dispute. So, we can either play the Trespasser and exile the side twitch, or we can play the Duress, and then the opponent feels like they have to Deadly Dispute now. It also gives us more hits. I was actually thinking in my head, I was saying, unless they have 2 Deadly Disputes. Look at this hand. Shuffler's fine. Do I play the other adversary? I think no. I think we play Awakening tapped, and then Trespasser next turn, and then Tainted Adversary kicked later. I guess they're scared of a flash zombie. That card, there is a card that does that. Rotting something. The people who really tried to make zombies work, they know what I'm talking about. Environmental sciences. Because sometimes you just have to find a second black, you know what I'm saying? All right. Those Field of Ruins are a problem. I was hoping to use a Hive. Hate it. Maybe they'll forget how this works. Nom nom nom, I twitch. Yummy. Oh, if they sacrifice those treasures to target this and discard another card and pay 2 life, that's a win. That's a big win. Alright, they fall to 11. They have a Skullport Merchant with nothing to sacrifice. Let's see if they leave up mana for the Field of Ruin. Might influence whether or not we send the Hive. They do not. In that case, since this is probably going to get blown up by Field of Ruin, let's use it now. No good reason for that. Don't ask. Nighttime is the right time. Won't matter unless we find another trespasser.
Aren't I generous?
Opponent found Lolth, huh? That's annoying. So what can this be? A 5/5? So they can block it with everything? And we can kill the Lolth. Is their last card a Blood on the Snow, though? Also, to kill the Lolth, we'd have to send the Hive. Sending the Hive is very dangerous. Because if we don't draw another land, these don't get kicked. So we'll send this here. Because whatever they block it with, it's gonna die. So it would like trade with double spiders, for example. Let me send this here. Wow, they take it. That's a really low life total with a Lolth on the field that can only pay life to draw cards. That's a really low life total. Keep in mind, it's nighttime. If we draw one of these or get this back, they could just be dead. Oh, they GG. They Infernal Grasp themselves. All right, that was an interesting game. That was zombies doing zombie-like things. 5 wins. I'd say we finally got a solid win against a solid deck, and I'm feeling okay. Let's go in. Let's go. We've got a few more to go. 3 at the most. It's a good curve, and it's on the play. None of our creature lands, though. It'd be nice to draw those. What do you got? What you doing in there? Blue-white control. Oh, Lord. Ebb and Death versus Divide by Zero is cringe. Let's grab the Revelry, though. That's by far the most frustrating card for aggro to battle. But these Divide by Zeros are going to be a huge problem. Let's try to get them to use them on the Trespasser. That way they at least have to discard a card. Pay the toll. Cool deck. Where did you get it? Oh man, if you're a blue-white control player, you gotta take that long to think about whether or not to pass the turn. We're gonna be here a while. Hiya! Fateful Absence. Let's go. Let's go. Fire that off. Good. We wanted this out of their hand for the Trespasser, so they feel like they should divide it by 0. I can exile my own graveyard here to deal damage. It makes my Agadeem's Awakening a lot worse, so I'm not going to. Besides, they do have Devious Cover-Up. They do use their graveyard to some extent. Also, no telltale signs for sure if they're running Leer or not. Against Leer, the Trespasser is a lot better. Nighttime, baby! Come on, divide me by 0. Let's go. Divide me by 0 and see what you get. Beautiful. Okay. Let's flash in the zombie dragon on their turn. Do it. Yes. Discard that card. Let's let them make all their decisions, then flash out Ebon Death. They discard Test of Talents. Beautiful. Make your learn decision. Probably Teachings, if would be a guess. They go with the Sciences. Teachings is pretty good when you get Ward, discard a carded. But we play around counter magic and we slip the Dracolich in there. Opponent has a Field of Ruin. Will they use Divide by 0 here on the dragon? They probably will. They used it on the Trespasser. That's a good draw. Let's attack first. It's divide by 0. All right, they have environmental sciences. What that means is that they can flip it back to daytime, or at least they don't let it go to nighttime. So we have to be careful about flipping it to day if we want this to be a 4/4. Because they'll definitely be able to keep it on daytime with their sciences. So I don't know if I want to play out all these creatures, especially since our opponent can and might Doomscar. They grab Reduced to Memory. That's for you. It's a tough call. Haven into the Field of Ruin's pretty meh. Let's play this. Exile this and this. All right, I think we can just crack the clue here. These are also good fodder to bring this back if we can get the Reduced to Memory out of our opponent's hand. Are they making a Field of Ruin play? They're playing Revelry. What do they have? They have 3 cards. We have 3 cards. Okay. They're going to gain 4 life and make 2 creatures. Okay. Well, there was a reason we duressed this. Very solid card against us. A lot to dig through. They could double spell there to flip it back to night, but they don't. They're holding up Field of Ruin for the Haven. Not really sure why. In this case, they have blockers. Not really sure why they do this now either. I guess just giving away they have nothing. But I guess we can see their hand. It's fine. Okay, so we're probably playing Ebon Death on their turn, on their end step, Dungeon Crawler on our turn. Let's turn this Glutton sideways. Is there anything worth exiling? I guess we'll just keep hitting the spells. We still don't know if they're the Leer version of the deck. It is kind of fun that you can flip this and then play Ebon Death. Something I didn't fully consider when I saw the list. They still are at 20. Now we can Infernal Grasp our own Ibn Death in response to Reduce to Memory, so that'll be fun. We can also play this Shade, which is something they'd love to exile as well. If we double spell, this will flip. Do we care? Not sure. Unclear. I guess I can kick the Shade, right? But then I can't Infernal Grasp. Again, if you cast 2 spells on your turn, or if any player casts 2 spells on their turn, like our opponent might here, it flips this back to daytime, and I kind of like it hitting for 4. I'm enjoying its 4-point hits, but the opponent now, I guess since they can transform, I should have played the other Dungeon Crawler. That was a miss. So it doesn't get exiled that way. Can come play future Magic turns with us. But yeah, should have played the Dungeon Crawler. The only thing that would punish it is a sweeper, and we'd like a sweeper there. Wow. The 3rd Sunset Revelry. This one drawing a card. Really punished for not playing this now. Gotta try to win anyway, though. Can't have any mercy in your heart. Can't talk yourself out of a win because you made a mistake. Let's see if that's a sweeper there. If it's a land, good. We're still winning. Okay. Graveyard has... We're not eating that. We're not... If the Shade dies, good. We'll bring it back later. The Dungeon Crawler we'd love to keep. Feeds our dragon. Alright, let's see if the opponent can top deck here. I'm finding a lot of what I like about this deck here against Control. It's actually proving pretty resilient and solid in this matchup, which I didn't really expect for all the main deck removal spells, but it is awesome to combine them with Ibn Death. The Night Side is so much better here. The Flash is so much better here. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this white for damage now. I have a Shade that I can get back if I really want to. Opponent falls to 9. Let's play another Shade. No great loss if they Wrath, and we'll kick it. There's also the idea that if they Wrath, we could bring Ibn Death back if we had 4 mana open, and maybe that would be better. Ugh, they did find it. They found it. That's so mean. All right, Hive. Let's bring these out. We gotta go around a Hall of the Storm Giants now. Off the top, whatever you got. Back to nighttime. Power up. Let's go for lethal around the hall, so that if they just power up the hall to block, it's not enough. Put them in the spot where they need the hall and the gates, and they don't have the mana for both. Okay, they found Faithful Absence. Urgh. If I float the mana there, I can crack the clue. I think I do like playing the champion better than cracking the clue there. Force them to sweep. Sweepers aren't amazing against us anyway. Any land brings back the shade. If we can start holding up mana, we can get back Ebb and Death. Only one sweeper played. They should have 5 more. Divide a shade by 0. Okay. Sciences puts them at not enough. And they already played their land, so if they were counting on another land drop, that's not it. Buff the Parish just for a little extra. In case they have an unsummon. And they don't, so that's game. It shouldn't surprise me as much as it does, but when I think about it, now I see, like, it's an aggro deck that's better against control. The Duress, the Flash, the comes back from the deadness, the creature lands. Yeah, that's what it's made to do. Even the benefit of being on nighttime with the Trespasser. So we hadn't played a control deck until last round, and now I feel what the deck is really for. I found its purpose. Where it sits in this meta. It's a pretty nice on-the-play hand, isn't it? I wonder where that leaves us for best of 1, though. I think if it can win enough against green and white, it will be playable. But I don't see those matchups as very good, considering cards like Skyclave Shade and Ebb and Death Dracolich in the deck. Like, those just aren't good in those matchups at all. All that comes into play tapped zombies aren't good in those matchups. You do have 6 good removal spells, but I'm skeptical. However, maybe we get to test it right here, right now, with the nuts on the play. If we can steal enough games against green and white, and then have a great game against control, I'd say we have a real deck. On God. You accept the damage? Okay. If you're gonna do that, why didn't you just block last turn? Okay. Okay. What you got? Please double block the champ. They did not. That's okay. We could flash in this to pump the champion an additional point if they double blocked. But just playing this on end step and swinging over for 5, that will be enough. That could be enough. All right. Am I a believer? Am I a believer? I know what the deck's role is. Yeah, 7 wins. Booyah. Actually got there. Well done. I know what the deck's role is. Let's do a quick calculation, check the time. And I was going to do a quick game in ranked as kind of a mom spaghetti moment, but we've already got a full hour video for sure. So let's slide right into the post-game wrap. And we go 7-1. We lose to kind of a go big Selesnya deck. I'd say that draw was pretty rough, but I don't know. That was an interesting game. Anyway, I'm not going to overthink that particular loss. We got some wins against some pretty potato opponents. Their decks weren't like what you would expect on the ladder so much in Platinum and higher. But towards the end, we played against Mono Green. We were on the play with a really great Champion of the Parish draw, and we curved into Ebb and Death, and it got the job done convincingly. Like that, Ebb and Death soaring over to deal the final 5 over the Asika's Chariot that came out on turn 4. is exactly what you want the deck to be, exactly where you want to go with it if you're going to win that matchup. And then against blue-white, I think we revealed what the deck is really meant for. It's meant to be an aggro deck that has a better control matchup than others. Duress, very, very good. Skyclave Shade, very resilient. Tainted Adversary, a lot of damage from a single card in the late game. Agadeem's Awakening, bringing back Squad. The Trespasser, usually on nighttime mode against control, can deal some extra damage. And of course, Ebon Death flashing in and coming back from the graveyard over and over. All the creature lands, like, it comes together. A little bit of early pressure backed by these resilient threats against control is very good. For best of one, is control that much of the meta? Let's check the stats, powered by Untapped.gg. I didn't have this part of the spiel planned ahead of time. We're off the cuffing it today, so give me a second. And if we go to the meta, we'll see that the most popular decks, mono white and mono green. Good job, those of you out there picking up Azorius Control, pushing it to 6.6% of the meta and a 57% win rate. I'm proud of you guys. But still, a vast majority of the meta, over 32%, made up in 2 monocolored aggro decks. And then Gruul Werewolves is also on the list. I think it's interesting, though. Normally, aggro is most of this list, and there's 1 control deck. Right now, there's Azorius, there's Mono Black, there's Izzet Dragons and Izzet Turns, and there's Dimir Control, all taking up space in popularity. And there's only 3 aggro decks, Werewolves, Stompy, and Mono White. So, if the control share of the meta does continue to climb, and this becomes a relevant part of the meta, this could be an aggro deck that takes advantage of that and picks on them a little bit. And I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the challenge as a control mage. I can appreciate a deck really knowing its role and its niche in a meta and knowing when to play it for a tournament. So, should you craft and pick up black aggro? Do you like beating control? Is it control that sticks to you when you lose? Because you'll probably lose a few games to mono white, mono green. They're just on the play and more powerful than a lot of your draws. But do you love sticking it to control? This might be the deck for you. And it got 7 wins, so we have to do the ladder challenge with it in another video. So thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.